Super Employable. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the various lands that we are gathering on today, and I would also like to pay my respects to leaders and elders past, present, and emerging. My name is Beck, and I'm a career advisor here at Kangan Institute. Before we get started, I'd like to run through some etiquette and expectations. So you will have the opportunity to ask questions throughout the duration of the webinar. Please use the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to type your questions. Catherine will be your moderator for the session today. She will be answering some of the questions during the webinar, and if the question isn't answered during the presentation, it will be addressed during question time at the end of the webinar. Please note that we will not be using the raise hand function tonight. And just a reminder to please be respectful of the rights, privacy, safety, opinions and beliefs of others, and demonstrate appropriate and respectful behaviour and use of language. So I hope you enjoy this webinar and our virtual open day. Here at Kangan Institute, we are deeply committed to strengthening the employability of our students and helping them to gain real jobs in their chosen industry through our Skills and Jobs Centre and Employment Centre. Undertaking education or training is one major thing you can do to prepare yourself for employment. In fact, over 75% of TAFE graduates are employed 6 months after their training. But there are a lot of other things you can do to make sure that you stand out in a competitive job market. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I believe can have a big impact on your employability. Firstly, get better at looking for work. Job seeking uses many different skills, and we often don't put a lot of work into improving that skill set or even realise its importance. The Skills and Jobs Centres run regular workshops on how to improve your skills at finding work. Some of the things that you can work on that will pay dividends in your job search include putting the time in to prepare by researching, predicting questions, and rehearsing your responses. Self-reflecting to grow your self-awareness so that you can effectively communicate your value to others. Focusing on being highly relevant by tailoring every application with employer-specific and role-specific information. And becoming a better storyteller so that you can build rapport and make a human connection with your interviewers. Employers highly value soft skills, and this is the second element that you can work on to increase your employability. Let me explain about soft skills. They're the skills that we use in relating to others, such as etiquette, patience, communication, and listening. And they are difficult to teach, but instead develop over time. Hard skills or technical skills are much more measurable and can be taught, like reading, taking a blood sample, or connecting some wires. Our soft skills influence how we perform our hard skills. If a pathology collector has empathy, they are more likely to be compassionate and gentle with their patient. Another type of skill that you need to understand and develop is your employability skills. These are transferable abilities that are applicable to any Australian workplace and that contribute to making an individual employable. The top 8 employability skills that most employers expect their employees to have are communication, teamwork, problem solving, initiative, planning and organising, self-management, learning, and technology. And employers expect you to highlight these skills when you're applying for work. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is a person's ability to recognise their own emotions and the emotions of others, differentiate feelings, and manage or adjust their emotions adaptively. Some of the key aspects of emotional intelligence include self-awareness, self-regulation, self-motivation, empathy, and social skills. And many people underestimate how transferable and relevant their skills are. All of the skills and attributes I've mentioned so far apply to multiple situations or contexts, so they can be used in more than one job. Thirdly, cleaning up your act, and this means your online presence. So check your digital footprint. Have you ever Googled your own name? It's becoming increasingly common for employers to search online for information about their shortlisted applicants. Do you belong to a sports team that made it into the paper? Or will they find old forum posts from when you were a teenager? Have you set up a LinkedIn profile, and is it current? Depending on the platform, there may be ways to remove specific content or make the entire profile not show up in search engines. Remember that screen names often offer so much anonymity. It's limited because you can sometimes be identified by the people that you're connected to. So make sure your social media accounts don't throw up any warning signs by making them private and removing any sensitive content. As a rule, avoid posting party pictures every weekend or anything religious, political, or inflammatory. And don't forget to monitor your social media comments too. Fourthly, don't try and go it alone. Our connections are a huge help in our personal life and career, and these are some of the ways that you can lean on others. One of the 5 career development principles is be an ally and access your allies. Community is crucial and can help with decision-making, coping with change, and finding resources. It's not a sign of weakness to ask for help, but it's a sign of strength when you can identify a need, clearly express this need, and communicate how others can help you meet that need. A mentor is someone experienced whose advice you trust. They might share their experiences, provide guidance, motivation, emotional support, and role modeling. Some organizations even run mentor programs to help match people to an appropriate advisor. Networking means building relationships with relevant people so that you can learn from their experiences, get guidance on important matters, and uncover job opportunities. Skilled networkers develop personal relationships with prospective employers and other people with influence to shape future employment decisions. This is why we often hear, it's not what you know, but who you know. Connections mean opportunities if you know where to look and how to make the right approach. One activity we suggest is making a list of every single person you know, and then thinking about who they might know through their work, study, relationships, or personal activities. Most people will be surprised at the wealth of knowledge they actually have access to. And volunteering is a really great way to create new relationships, as well as having stacks of other benefits that can add to your personal life and employability. And the final part is to focus on you and work on your own personal development. These are just a handful of some of the things that we suggest that you can develop. A growth mindset is believing that you can learn more or become smarter if you work hard and persevere. And a growth mindset affects how we face challenges and setbacks. Having a positive and enthusiastic attitude is exciting and even contagious. Don't forget to work on your hard skills or your technical skills, even if they aren't specifically related to the job that you want. They can help make you more rounded as a person. And being likable gives you a huge advantage at interview. And a hiring decision often comes down to who the interviewers got along best with, or the person that they thought would fit best into the team. Have faith in your own abilities and be confident so that others are more likely to be confident in you. Self-care and work-life balance are hugely important because of the impact they have on your entire life. Be willing to seek and be willing to learn and accept learning, change, and growth. Actively listen so that you get the best understanding of what others are trying to communicate and get the most out of conversations. And be yourself. It's really, really important to be yourself. No one else is like you. And authenticity, honesty, sincerity, vulnerability, they all help you connect with others. So in summary, that's my top tips on how to improve your employability and look like a fantastic candidate to employers. So definitely education and training is hugely important, and the statistics actually support that. But also get better at looking for work, grow a soft spot for soft skills, clean up your act. Remember, no one is an island, and be the best you can be. Thank you for giving me your time today, and I hope the content has been enlightening. If there is anything you wanted to discuss in more depth, please feel free to contact the Skills and Jobs Centre. Our phone number is 1300 100 606. Does anyone have any questions that I can answer? Let me know.
Thanks so much for that, Beck. We don't seem to have any questions coming through the live chat. So if anybody has any questions for Beck, now's the opportunity just to type them into the chat. If not, we'll finish this webinar up in 1 minute. All right, thanks, Beck. We'll finish that one up now. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks for having me.